This weekend is the Minnesota Horse Show. It is happening at the Minnesota Fairgrounds. It's the Minnesota Horse Expo happening at the State Fairgrounds. You can find more than 30 different breeds of horses. You can take a free pony ride. You can attend daily exhibits too.
Heather Sharp, an author and a speaker from Cannon Falls, will be there this weekend. She joins us in studio to talk about some very incredible, are they barrel racing outfits?
They are.
They are, okay. This stuff is, wow.
It is blingy.
Literally, Jack Sparrock, a rodeo stock contractor, was the first to coin the term shiny heinies. He said, you have a look at those shiny heinies.
Well, because all the pants are like lame and all the
Yes.
tops are sparkly. I mean, they're not like sequins. They almost have like the ribbon going through.
Exactly,
That is.
all handmade. Some of them are eyelash lame. Uncomfortable to wear, but fashion was worth any sacrifice.
Sure.
Shiny hiney. Some of the pockets are even rhinestone and embellished.
Yes, exactly. And the way this came to be, like, in the 1800s, cowboys were out on the range, breaking horses, roping steers, and the women were at home fixing the victuals and barefoot.
I'm glad you used the word victuals. That's the word I was thinking of too.
Raising the kids. And on the weekends, the cowboys would get together and compete. Well, then that started the rodeo. And in the 1950s, 130,000 people went to the Cow Palace over 10 days in San Francisco. And so now it was a spectator sport. The cowboys did not want the cowgirls in the arena.
Because they were getting all the attention?
Right. And bull riding was and still is the number one spectator sport. But in close second was the cowgirls barrel race. And they said, well, we want to sell tickets to the rodeos. And so we enforced a strict dress code of colored hats, sparkly outfits, and the cowboys thought, oh, it has nothing at all to do with skill. Well, it had a lot to do with skill, but it also entertained the crowd.
What is it that you love about the fashion that you are here? If this was popular in the 50s, here we are 75 years later almost, and you're still talking about it. What is it that you love about it?
I think it's a tribute to my mom. She was a fashionista before it was even a word. And the reason that I wrote the book, Never Dull, is she inspired me. I thought it was normal. I thought my life was, we went to rodeos every weekend, and my dad was a veterinarian, and I thought, oh, this is what everybody is. No, it was pretty unique.
Yeah.
And the cover of the book is her green boots. That inspired the cover and inspired the book because at the end of her life, when she died in January of 23, I said, Mom, your life was amazing. I am going to write a book. And she goes, no one will believe it. I said, oh, yes, they will, because I have all these pictures, and I'm going to call all of your friends and get them on tape. And so within 6 months, I had that published, and the response has been amazing because it's the values and the life lessons. The setting is rodeo, but you don't need to know anything. I had a woman stop me at the gym. You don't need to know anything about horses or rodeo to appreciate the values that they taught us. Never give up, hang in there, laugh at yourself.
You talked to 14 different people?
Right.
Or different voices in the book?
Different voices.
Yeah.
So I am the narrator, and
Okay.
then we break to, in the paperback book, it's the transcribed version of their stories. But then we go to their actual voices. And because I was the narrator, I had to keep doing a retake and stopping because I was laughing too hard.
Oh, that's funny.
Now, are the people you talk to relatives, family, friends?
Some are relatives.
Yeah.
One is Bob Tallman, who was the 13-time rodeo announcer of the year. Pat Pirelli, Chris Cox, some pretty big names in the rodeo world.
Yeah.
But the stories that they have to tell are hysterical.
Can you share one with us?
I can.
Okay.
Actually, my mom wore, those are not her outfits because she sold them for $5 at a garage sale. At a garage sale. These are Patty Garcia's outfits. But my mom had on something very similar. She went to the Cow Palace to compete in the barrel race. She was 19 years old, armed with her sister's fake ID, because she looked exactly like her sister. She did her barrel race, and after the rodeo, all the cowboys went to the log cabin barn. And So my mom thought, oh, I am going to go there and find myself a cowboy. And she had this beautiful long ponytail, and she loved going around. The barrel race is a cloverleaf pattern around barrels, and she had her long ponytail flowing behind her and her shiny heinies. After the rodeo, she put her horse away, took her hat off, lipstick, brushed her beautiful ponytail, went to the bar, and elbowed her way into the bar. And John W. Jones, she elbowed her way to the bar, and he grabbed hold of her ponytail. He goes, "Whoa, what are you doing, little filly?" And she said, "John." Well, all good cowboys have a knife clipped to the inside of their pocket in case a horse gets in a rope or whatever. He whips it out, cuts her ponytail off above the bow, and hands it to her. And she goes, "Oh!" She goes to the bathroom, looks at her new bob, comes out, and she goes, "Attention, Jones is buying the whole bar around." And that story, people asked her about that story her whole life, and they said, "Weren't you mortified?" And she goes, "No, the ponytail was gone. What was I going to do?"
Yeah.
So there's no crying over spilled milk. She goes, "Party on."
Dust off, get up, right?
Exactly. Get back on the horse.
Yeah.
And that is the lessons that my parents taught us. And to keep going and the grit and laugh at yourself.
You wrote this book in 6 months, and it's already up for an award.
I did. I know. Thank you.
That's crazy.
It's crazy. And I thought that it was just going to be for, to celebrate my parents. This has taken off. It was the #1 new release on Amazon in 6 categories. It's up for an award.
Wow.
It's and now I'm on the speaking circuit. And what a tribute to my parents.
Yeah. Tell us about the Horse Expo this weekend and how people can find you there.
So I will be speaking at the DNR booth, DNR building at 10 o'clock and 2 o'clock about these outfits, and then also about attitude, because I have my own, which we don't have time for, my own little story. I was a pilot for Northwest Airlines and suffered 2 bad accidents not associated with horses or
flying.
or
Good,
flying.
good.
Yeah. And so I talk about attitude and grit, and you can do it.
We'd love to have you come back and do 5 facts. Sounds like that's a little thing we do here, and we probably have way more than 5 facts, but we'd love to have you back.
Fun things about you.
Fabulous.
Yeah.
Thank you.
Thanks,
you,
Heather. We'll post a link to Heather's book, Never Dull, and a link to this weekend's Horse Expo on our website, minnesotalive.com.